Hey guys, it's Dave with the Scarred Thumb Podcast coming at you with another story. It's Square Enix this time we're talking about. They have not been doing super well lately. If you remember last week, we talked at, this is from Niche Gamer as well, talked about Square Enix reporting a 22.1 billion yen loss. This is in sort of canceled projects. They're revising their policy on the development of high-definition games, and they need to be more selective on what they allocate development resources to. So it seems like Square Enix is contracting. The sort of games boom is over. Like many other studios, they need to tighten their belt right now and really focus in on what they want to do. Make sure they hit games that are going to be successful. And one of the ways they're doing it, as they announced in this this headline, new plan to aggressively pursue multi-platform strategies. This is from Niche Gamer by Brandon Arcelli. Announcing a business plan that it is shifting away from console exclusives like Final Fantasy VII Remake and Final Fantasy 16. And this aggressive strategy sees this new strategy is going to aggressively pursue a multi-platform strategy. So it seems, and this kind of outlines, this whole thing kind of outlines what it's doing. It basically just says, we're going to aggressively pursue a multi-platform strategy, especially in regards to major franchises and AAA titles, including catalog titles. So this is something that we're seeing more and more, even from the console makers themselves, like Sony and Microsoft, that these games are just, especially the AAA titles, are just too expensive to kind of be used to sell consoles. It's not making sense anymore. Before, you would want these console exclusives to sort of move units, to sell for your system. You get these, like a Halo, or, maybe even like you could, back in the day, you could say, like Final Fantasies could actually, move consoles, really sell people on a PlayStation. But nowadays, when these budgets are getting up to, $200 million, basically these console makers and even, developers are not willing to risk that level of cash, that level of investment on a game that you may not have the user base to support that kind of budget. I mean, you have to sell a lot of stuff for it to be worth it. Because I don't know if even these budgets include marketing either. So to actually make these things profitable, you need to sell a lot of units. You need to move a lot of stuff. And with the Xbox One and the PlayStation 5, I don't think either of these consoles have really sold as many units as either company wants them to. So their player base isn't, or may not be, I'm not sure, 100% sure, but it kind of seems to me like they do not have the user base to support these multi-hundreds of millions of dollar budgets for these titles. And one way to hedge their bets is, to release it on everything. Get the maximum amount of users. And even you can see this with, PlayStation really trying to, I think you're going to see PlayStation, Sony, and Xbox both really try to shift, especially to move these AAA titles to a simultaneous, or at least, eventually, which I think most of them do even now, but I think you'll see more and more simultaneous releases on console and PC as they're really trying to get the biggest audience they can get. And this is just Square Enix is the latest company to really just say, hey, it's time to... the day of consoles exclusives seem like it might be ending as the games themselves just get... I don't know what's going to happen. It just seems like these budgets are ballooning so much that it just does not seem to be viable. And I don't know what stuff like this means for these sort of accounts. These, I know it seems like more and more like Xbox and PlayStation are really banking on their, game passes as a major part of their platform. If, companies aren't willing to give them exclusives for those passes, that make them, less valuable. I'm not sure. But let me know what you guys think about this situation in the comments. Square Enix, the latest one to say, like, hey, console exclusive, we're done with it. It's too risky. There's too much money at stake. We just we need to try and get these in as many hands as possible to get our money back. It's just not a good plan right now. That's it for the video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll talk to you later.